The outpost where he worked floated above a giant swirling planet, its clouds stretching endlessly in shades of orange and brown. He had been living there for 9 long months, fixing one system after another. The place was old, built long before he was even born. The walls creaked when the artificial gravity fluctuated. The air filters hummed like tired machines, and sometimes the lights flickered just enough to make him feel uneasy. Still, Adam stayed. This was his job. He was an engineer, one of the few who could repair almost anything with enough time and parts. But this assignment was different. It wasn't just repairs. It was survival. He worked alone most days, waking up early, eating dry food packs, and spending hours in the maintenance shafts. When he wasn't fixing broken panels, he was checking life support systems or recalibrating the energy grid. It was exhausting, but he had gotten used to the routine. That night felt no different. Adam finished his meal, checked the reactor readings one last time, and went to bed. He lay down on the narrow bunk, staring at the ceiling. The outpost always groaned at night when the temperature regulators shifted. He pulled the blanket over himself and closed his eyes, expecting another night of restless sleep. But then he heard something that it wasn't the hum of machinery. It wasn't the creak of metal or the rush of air through the vents. This sound was different, soft and deliberate, like footsteps. Adam's eyes opened wide. He held his breath, listening carefully. He wasn't imagining it. Someone was moving. Inside his quarters, he sat up quickly, his heart pounding. Standing near the door was a figure. She was tall, much taller than him, with skin that reflected the dim light like polished silver. Her long hair shimmered faintly, and her eyes glowed with a pale blue light that felt both calm and unsettling at the same time. She wore a smooth, form-fitting suit of material Adam couldn't recognize. Adam froze. His mind scrambled for answers. How had anyone gotten inside the outpost? There were no scheduled arrivals. No shuttles had docked. The only other possibility was unthinkable, that she wasn't human. Before he could speak, she raised her hand gently. "Do not be afraid," she said. Her voice was calm, melodic, almost soothing. Adam's mouth went dry. "Who are you?" he managed to ask. "My name is Ren," she said, her strange glowing eyes fixed on him. "I come from a place far beyond your maps. I was sent here for you." Adam blinked. "Sent for me? By who? Why?" Ren stepped closer, though her movements were slow and unthreatening. "Because you have been seen. You have been noticed for what you do here, and I was sent as your reward." Adam's mind raced. "Reward? What are you talking about? I don't even know who you are." "I will explain," she said, her tone patient, as if she expected his confusion. "You work alone on this failing station. You keep it alive when no one else would. My people have been watching. We value such dedication. We believe such effort should not go unrecognized." Adam stood up, keeping his distance. "You've been watching me. How? This is a restricted human outpost." Her glowing eyes softened. "Your kind thinks of space as empty. But you are not alone out here. My people travel silently. We observe. We learn. You humans are different. My leaders believe that. I believe that." Adam shook his head. None of it made sense. "You can't just walk in here and say you're some kind of reward. That's not how this works. If you wanted to talk, there are channels. Diplomacy, protocol." Ren tilted her head slightly, studying him. "Would you have believed me if I arrived through your protocols? Would you have understood me through your channels? No, you would have hidden behind fear. So I came here, to you, directly." Adam couldn't deny she had a point. If his command center had received a message about an alien envoy wanting to meet him, they would have shut down the entire station in panic. Still, none of this answered why she was here, in his room, calling herself a reward. "What do you want from me?" he asked cautiously. "Nothing," she replied simply. "I am here because you have given much and received little. My people do not like imbalance. We saw what you have done, keeping this place alive. We want to give something back." Adam ran a hand through his hair, trying to process her words. He had no idea who her people were, why they cared, or what kind of reward she meant. But she didn't seem hostile. In fact, she seemed curious when glanced around his quarters. You live with little comfort, she observed. You sacrifice much for this station. Why? Adam frowned. He didn't really have an answer. This station wasn't glamorous. No one would remember his work here. But deep down, he knew why he stayed. Because if I don't, this place falls apart. And if it falls apart, the people who depend on it suffer. Her glowing eyes brightened slightly. And that is why humans are different. You act even when no one is watching. You endure even when the reward is uncertain. That is why I am here. Adam didn't know how to respond. It sounded almost like admiration. But coming from an alien he had never met, it felt strange and unsettling. Ren stepped back, giving him space. I will not harm you, she said. You may choose to accept me or refuse me. But my mission remains. I was sent to stand with you, to help you, to ensure your effort is not in vain. Adam stared at her for a long moment. Everything about this was impossible, yet she stood there, calm and confident, as if her presence was the most natural thing in the world. He didn't know what to do next. But one thing was certain. His quiet, lonely outpost had just become the center of something far bigger than himself, and for the first time in months, Adam didn't feel alone. Adam woke up early the next morning, but he was not sure if he had actually slept. His mind had been racing all night. He had replayed every moment with Ren, every word she had said. He even tried to convince himself that it had been a dream. But when he turned his head, he saw her sitting silently near the corner of his quarters. She was still there. Ryan sat with her legs folded, her glowing eyes closed as if she were meditating. She looked calm, as though she had been waiting for him to wake up. You did not rest well, she said without opening her eyes. Adam pulled the blanket off himself and sat up. You think anyone could sleep after what you did last night? You just appeared in my room. You're an alien, and you're telling me I'm some kind of project, reward, whatever you called it. Ren finally opened her eyes. You are not a project. You are a living being who has shown great effort. My people respect that. Adam shook his head. I don't understand. Why me? I'm just an engineer. I'm not a leader or a soldier. I just keep this place from falling apart. Ren stood slowly and walked toward him, and yet you stayed when others would have left. You did your work even when no one thanked you. My people have been observing humanity for many years. We study your behavior. We search for those who display qualities that make humans unique. You are one of them. Adam didn't know what to say. Unique. He didn't feel unique. He felt tired, unshaven, and frustrated. So what? You're here to pat me on the back. Tell me I'm special. Then what? You leave. Ren tilted her head. No, I am here to help you. That is why I was sent. Adam crossed his arms. Help. Me with what? This outpost. You don't even know how half of these systems work. Her glowing eyes narrowed slightly, almost like she was amused. Show me. Adam hesitated. Show you what? Show me your work, Ren said. Let me see the systems you keep alive. Let me see what you protect every day. Adam studied her for a moment. She didn't look like she was lying. In fact, she didn't look like she could lie. Her expression was steady and unchanging. Finally, he nodded. Fine, but don't touch anything unless I say so. This place is barely hanging together as it is. Ren followed him as he led her out of his quarters. The narrow halls of the outpost were dimly lit, and the walls hummed faintly with the sound of power lines running behind them. Adam moved with the speed of someone who knew every corner of this place. Ren, on the other hand, walked with slow, careful steps, her eyes scanning everything as if she were memorizing it. He stopped at the main control room. The panels were old, with scratches and dents from years of use. Several indicator lights blinked yellow. This is the nerve center, Adam said. If this room dies, the whole outpost dies. Ren walked over to one of the panels and placed her hand just above it, not touching but hovering close. Your machines are strong, but they are tired, she said softly. You have done much to keep them alive. Adam frowned. Yeah, well, it's not like I have a choice. Why do you keep doing it? Ren asked, turning to face him. You could leave. Your people could send someone else. yet you stay. Adam looked away. He didn't like being asked that question, because this place matters. There are supply routes that depend on this. Station, cargo ships, travelers. If this place goes dark, people get hurt. That's why I stay. Ren nodded as if she already knew what he would say. That is why my people notice humans. You fight for things that do not give you immediate gain. You care for what others do not see. Adam rubbed his temples. You keep saying your people. Who exactly are they? Ren paused. We are the Veari. We travel far. Beyond the edges of what you call explored space. We do not conquer. We do not take. We watch. We learn. And when we find something of value, we protect it. Adam raised an eyebrow. Protect it from what? Her expression grew serious. From those who would destroy it. Not all who travel the stars are peaceful. Some see only resources to take. My people see more. Adam's chest tightened a little. He didn't like the way she said that. You're saying someone's coming here to take this outpost. Ren's gaze didn't waver. Not yet. But there are those who know of this station. They will come. You will need help when that happens. Adam stared at her. So this isn't just about me being some dedicated worker. You're here because something bad is coming. Ren stepped closer, lowering her voice. Both are true. You are valued, but you are also at risk. Adam turned away, running his hand along one of the panels. He didn't like this at all. He had already been stretched thin just keeping this place alive. Now she was telling him that someone out there wanted to take it. Ren continued. My people have chosen to intervene before it is too late. You are important to us. Adam, your survival is important. Adam swallowed hard. He wasn't used to hearing anyone say his name like that, like it actually meant something. He turned to face her. All right, say I believe you. Say I let you help. What exactly can you do? Ren's eyes brightened slightly. You will see. But first, I need to understand this station as you do. I need to learn from you. Show me everything, every weakness, every strength. Together, we will make it stronger. Adam stared at her for a long time. She seemed completely serious, and for some strange reason, a small part of him wanted to trust her. Maybe it was because he had been alone for so long. Maybe it was because she was the first one in months who actually seemed to care about his work. Finally, he sighed. Fine, but you follow my lead. This is still my outpost. Ren bowed her head slightly, of course. As they began walking deeper into the station, Adam couldn't shake the feeling that his life had just changed in a way he couldn't fully understand. He didn't know if he could trust Ren or her people, but he knew one thing for certain. He was no longer alone in this fight. The outpost felt different with Ren walking beside Adam. For months, he had moved through these narrow metal corridors alone, listening only to the hum of machines and the occasional creak of old panels. Now there was another presence, calm, watchful, and strangely quiet. Adam couldn't decide whether that made him feel safer or more nervous. They reached the lower maintenance deck, where the lights flickered more than usual. A faint smell of burnt wiring lingered in the air. Adam crouched down near an exposed panel, muttering to himself, figures, reactor conduits failing again. If this one gives out, the backup grid won't last more than a day. Ren knelt beside him, her movements smooth and deliberate. She tilted her head, studying the panel as if she could see more than just wires and metal. This is what powers your life support, correct? Among other things, Adam replied, grabbing a set of tools from a nearby box. It keeps the lights on, the air clean, the heating stable. Without it, this place turns into a tomb. Ren's glowing eyes focused on the conduit. And you fix this by hand, alone? Adam let out a short laugh. What do you think I've been doing here for the last 9 months? These systems are older than I am. They break down almost every week, but I can usually patch them up long enough to keep things running. Ren reached out her hand as if to touch the conduit, but Adam quickly stopped her. No, don't touch. That thing could fry you in an instant. Ren looked at him, unbothered. It will not harm me. Adam raised an eyebrow. Oh, really? And how do you know that? Instead of answering, remove her hand closer. A faint shimmer of light formed around her fingers, like a soft shield. She placed her palm against the exposed wiring, and to Adam's shock, the flickering lights above them grew steady. Adam froze. What did you just do? Ren didn't look away from the conduit. I stabilized the energy flow. It is only temporary, but it will hold until we make proper repairs. Adam blinked, his mouth slightly open. You just did into seconds what takes me an hour with tools. She turned her head toward him, her face calm. My people work with energy differently. Where you use tools, we use ourselves. It is not better, only different. Adam sat back on the floor, staring at her. Different is one word for it. That's incredible. Ren stood and looked around the maintenance deck. If this is the state of your lower systems, your main reactor cannot be much better. Show me where it is. Adam hesitated. The main reactor was his most guarded space. It wasn't that it was secret. Anyone with clearance could go there, but it was dangerous. And if something went wrong, the whole station could go dark. But Ren had already proven she could do things he couldn't even explain. All right, Adam said reluctantly, but stay behind me. That place is unstable. They walked deeper into the outpost, descending metal stairs that echoed under their feet. Adam could feel the heat rising as they neared the reactor room. When they entered, the sight made him sigh with frustration. The reactor core sat in the center of the room, glowing faintly, but it wasn't the steady, healthy glow he wanted. It pulsed unevenly, and several warning lights on the surrounding panels blinked red. This is bad, Adam muttered. If that flux regulator fails, we'll have a cascade failure, and that's the end of the station. Ren walked toward the core. Adam quickly stepped in front of her. Wait, I wasn't kidding about danger. This thing isn't some little conduit. If it blows, we don't get a second chance. Ren met his eyes. Do you trust me? Adam blinked at her. Trust you? I met you less than a day ago. Yet I am here, helping you. She said, her tone steady. You are not used to accepting help, but you must. If you continue as you are, this place will not survive. Adam clenched his jaw. She wasn't wrong. He had been keeping this station alive with temporary fixes for months. He could buy time. But eventually, something would fail beyond his ability to repair. He took a deep breath. All right, but if you're going to help, you do it my way, slowly, carefully. Ren nodded once, agreed. Adam moved to the control panel, pulling up the reactor's status readouts. The main issue is the flux regulator. It's been running over capacity since the last storm surge. I can try to bypass the damaged sections, but it'll only last a few days. Ren stepped beside him, looking at the readouts. Your machines are limited by what you can build. But if I can align the core's energy field directly, the regulator will stabilize without replacement. Adam stared at her. Align the energy field? That's not even possible with human tech. For humans, no, Ren said simply. Adam hesitated, then stepped aside. Show me. Ren approached the core. She raised both hands, and a soft blue light spread from her fingertips. It wrapped around the reactor like a glowing web, pulsing in rhythm with the unstable core. Slowly, the pulsing glow began to steady. The warning lights on the control panel dimmed, one by one. Adam could only watch in awe. You're actually doing it. Ren kept her focus on the core. It is not permanent, but it will give you time, enough to make real repairs. When she finally lowered her hands, the reactor hummed with a smoother, steadier sound than Adam had heard in months. He turned to her, still in disbelief. I don't know what to say. Say nothing, Ren replied. Just understand that I am here for more than words. Adam leaned against the panel, trying to process what had just happened. He had spent months patching this place together piece by piece, always fighting against time. And now, in a single day, this alien woman had done more than he thought possible. But part of him still felt uneasy. Ren, he said finally, you told me yesterday that my work here has been noticed, that your people sent you because of it, but now you're saying this station is at risk. Which is it? Am I really here because I'm special, or just because you need this place intact? Ren met his eyes without hesitation. Both. You are important, and what you protect is important. The two cannot be separated. Adam didn't know if that made him feel better or worse. As they left the reactor room, he couldn't shake the feeling that Ren wasn't telling him everything. She had helped him. That much was clear. But if she and her people had been watching him for so long, then what else did they know? And why did it feel like this reward she spoke of was only the beginning of something far bigger? The station was quieter than usual. Adam noticed it the moment they left the reactor room. The hum of machinery sounded steadier, the lights glowed brighter, and even the constant creaks in the walls seemed to settle. For months, he had grown, used to the noise of failing systems, but now the outpost almost felt alive again. Ren walked beside him, silent but alert. Adam couldn't help glancing at her every few seconds. She moved with a grace that felt unnatural for the cramped hallways of a human outpost. Her glowing eyes scanned everything, as if she were memorizing every detail of her surroundings. Adam cleared his throat. "You've been here for a whole day now, and I still don't know much about you. You say your people are called the Veyari, that you travel far, that you watch and protect, but that doesn't tell me who you are." Ren tilted her head slightly, her silvery hair catching the dim light. "I am a messenger and a guardian. When my people decide that someone or something must be protected, I am sent. I watch, I learn, and if needed, I act." Adam frowned. "Protected? From what exactly?" "You said yesterday that there are people out there who would destroy this place, but you still haven't told me who they are." Ren's gaze softened. "If I give you every answer at once, you will not believe me. For now, know this, there are those who see this station only as a resource. They will not care for the lives it supports. They will take it, and you, if they can." Adam crossed his arms. "You keep saying that, but you're not telling me who they are, or when they're coming, or why this place even matters to them." Ren stopped walking. "Would you believe me if I told you everything now? Or would you think I was trying to frighten you?" Adam opened his mouth to answer, but couldn't. She was right. It was hard enough believing that she existed at all. If she started talking about hostile alien factions and invasions, he wasn't sure how much he could process at once. Ren continued walking. "Trust must be built, Adam. That is why I am here with you, to learn you. And for you to learn me." Adam let out a breath and followed her. "Fine. Then let's start simple. What do your people live for? What do the Veyari actually want out of life?" She glanced at him, as if surprised by the question. "We want balance. We travel so that we can observe and maintain it. When we see life thriving, we watch. When we see life being destroyed, we act. My people do not believe in conquering or owning. We believe in preserving." Adam let out a small laugh. "That's a big difference from humans." Ren tilted her head. "Yes. That is why we watch you so closely." Adam stopped walking. "You keep saying that you watch humans. Why? What is it about us that you find so interesting?" Ren turned to face him fully. "You endure." Adam blinked. "Endure?" She nodded. "Yes. You live short lives compared to many others in the stars. Your technology is still young. And yet, you keep moving forward. You work even when there is no reward. You protect even when the cost is great. That is why we notice you. That is why I am here." Adam wasn't sure how to feel about that. It was strange hearing someone talk about humans like that, like they were worth studying. He had spent so long thinking his work didn't matter. But to her people, it apparently did. They reached the observation deck, a small room with a wide window overlooking the gas giant below. Adam leaned against the railing, staring out at the swirling orange clouds. "You know," he said, "I've been on this station almost a year, and I still can't get used to that view. It's beautiful, but also kind of lonely." Double quotes are I in step beside him. "Do you regret coming here?" Adam thought about it. "Some days, yes, but someone had to keep this place running. I figured if not me, then who?" Ren nodded slowly. "That is what makes you valuable. You choose the harder path when others do not." Adam turned to her. "You keep calling me valuable, but I'm just one engineer. Why am I so important to you, to your people?" Ren hesitated for the first time. "Because what you do matters. More than you know. You may not see it, but your actions here affect more than this station." They affect lives far beyond your understanding, and there are those who would use that for harm. Adam narrowed his eyes. You keep coming back to that. Those who would harm us. Who are they? Rin, tell me. Her glowing eyes dimmed slightly, and her voice lowered. They are called the Drask. They take what they want. They strip worlds bare, and they are closer than you think. Adam felt a chill run down his spine. And you're saying they want this place? This old station? They do not see it as old. They see it as an opportunity, a step toward more. Rin said. Adam stared out the window again. He suddenly felt smaller than ever. After a long silence, he finally spoke. So what now? You stay here with me until they come. And then what? You fight them? Rin didn't answer right away. If they come, we fight together. But for now, we prepare. Adam rubbed his face. Prepare. Great. That's going to be easy with broken systems and half a supply shipment overdue. Rin placed her hand on the railing, close to his. You are not alone anymore. Whatever comes, you will not face it alone. Adam looked at her hand for a moment, then back at the endless clouds outside. He didn't know if he could trust her fully yet, but for the first time in months, he didn't feel completely abandoned, and deep down, he knew one thing. If what Rin said about the Drask was true, then his quiet life of repairs and survival was about to change forever. The following morning felt different. Adam woke to the sound of faint beeping in the control room. It wasn't one of the usual alerts for failing systems or low power. This was sharp, rhythmic, and unfamiliar. He quickly dressed and hurried to the command deck, with Rin silently following behind him. The main console displayed a flashing red icon. Adam tapped it, pulling up the report. His brow furrowed. This isn't from the station's systems, he said aloud. It's a transmission. Where is it coming from? Rin asked, stepping closer. Adam scrolled through the data. It's not local. It's coming from deep space relays. No, wait. This is inside our range. It's here. He froze as he saw the final line of code. It's coming from the outpost itself. Rin leaned over his shoulder, her glowing eyes narrowing. Show me. Adam brought up a map of the station. A small blinking marker appeared in one of the unused storage compartments. That's impossible, he muttered. That section has been sealed for months. No one's been in there. Rin straightened. Then something has been placed there without your knowledge. Adam turned to her. You're telling me someone managed to sneak a transmitter into my station. How? There's only one docking port, and it hasn't been used since my last supply drop. And that was weeks ago. Rin's face grew serious. The Drask do not always arrive with loud engines. In open threats, sometimes they come like shadows. They leave behind what they need. They wait. Adam's chest tightened. So you think this, whatever it is, belongs to them? Rin nodded. It is a signal, a beacon. It is telling them you are here, alive, and unprotected. Adam's hands gripped the console tightly. Great, so they're coming. Not yet, Rin said. But they will. They do not ignore signals like this. Adam took a deep breath. Then we need to find it. Shut it down. Before they get here. Rin placed a hand on his shoulder. Not just shut it down. Destroy it. If they lose the signal suddenly, they will suspect interference. But if we mask it and replace it with false data, they will believe nothing has changed. Adam stared at her. You can do that. She gave a single nod. Yes, but I need to see it first. Adam grabbed his toolkit. Then let's go. They made their way through the outpost's narrow corridors. The air felt colder than usual, as if the station itself understood the danger. Adam couldn't help glancing behind them as they walked, half expecting to see something lurking in the shadows. When they reached the sealed storage compartment, Adam stopped at the door. It had dust on the edges and an old warning label that read unused, do not enter. He pulled up the access panel. This hasn't been opened in months. If someone broke in, I'd know. Not if they are more advanced than you. Rin said softly. Adam swallowed, overriding the lock. The door creaked open, releasing a stale, metallic smell. The compartment was dark, with only faint emergency lights casting eerie shadows across stacked crates. Adam stepped inside. Carefully. You see anything? Rin walked past him, scanning the room with her glowing eyes. She stopped near the far wall. There, Adam followed her gaze and saw it, a small, black device attached to the wall. No bigger than a human hand, it pulsed with a faint red light. "That's not human tech," Adam said, his voice low. "No," Ren replied. "It is Drask, a long-range beacon. It has been transmitting your location for some time." Adam clenched his fists. "How long do you think it's been here?" "Long enough for them to notice," Ren said, "but perhaps not long enough for them to arrive. We still have time." Adam crouched near the device, studying it. "So what's the plan? Yank it off and smash it?" "No," Ren said firmly. "If you destroy it outright, they will know something happened. They will come faster. I can mask the signal, make it appear as though the station is lifeless. They will believe this place is of no value." Adam glanced at her. "You can really do that?" "Yes, but I will need time, and I will need your help." Adam nodded. "Tell me what to do." Ren knelt by the beacon, her hands glowing faintly. "Keep watch. If this device has defenses, they may activate when I interfere." Adam gripped a metal rod from one of the crates. "Defenses? Like what?" "Automated drones," she replied calmly, "or traps." "Perfect," Adam muttered under his breath. Ren placed her hands over the beacon. The glow from her fingers spread across the device, merging with its pulsing light. The red glow shifted to a pale blue. Adam could feel a faint vibration in the air, like static electricity. Then he heard it, a sharp, mechanical whirring from the corner of the room. "Ren," he said, tightening his grip on the rod. "I think we've got company." From the shadows, a small drone floated out. It was spherical, black like the beacon, with a single red lens that glared like an eye. Ren didn't look up. "Keep it away from me. I need a few more moments." The drone emitted a high-pitched screech and shot toward Adam. He swung the rod, barely clipping it. The impact sent it spinning, but it quickly righted itself. Adam ducked as a thin laser shot past his head, scorching the wall. "Great, it's armed." He swung again, this time with more force, smashing the drone against the wall. Sparks flew as it fell to the ground, twitching before going still. "Done," Ren said calmly. The beacon's pulsing stopped, replaced by a soft blue glow. "They will not find us now. At least not easily." Adam panted, staring at the destroyed drone. "You could have warned me about the laser." "You handled it," Ren replied simply. Standing up, Adam shook his head. "So now what? They won't find us? Just like that?" Ren turned toward him. "They will look, but they will see nothing of value here. It gives us time. Time to prepare." Adam set down the rod, still catching his breath. "Prepare for what? For when they come anyway." Ren said, "Because they always come." Adam felt a knot form in his stomach. He didn't like the certainty in her voice. As they left the compartment, Adam couldn't stop thinking about that small black device. It had been here for weeks, maybe longer, quietly telling the Drask where to find him. He had been working, eating, and sleeping under its silent signal. And now, for the first time, he truly understood. This wasn't just about keeping an old outpost alive. It was about survival. And survival meant the next move had to be theirs. Adam couldn't stop thinking about the beacon, even though Ren had disabled it. He knew what it meant. The Drask were coming. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. When he reached the control room, he dropped heavily into the chair and stared at the monitors. The outpost looked the same as always, flickering lights, a few yellow alerts on aging systems, and the slow rotation above the gas giant. But now it felt different. It felt like a trap. Ren stood near the main console, studying the data as if she had been there her whole life. "We must assume the Drask will come," she said. "They do not ignore opportunities. This station is in their path, and they will not pass it by." Adam rubbed his forehead. "Them were sitting ducks. This outpost doesn't have weapons. It's just a pit stop for cargo ships. Even if I sent out a distress call, help would take weeks." Ren turned to him. "Then we make it something more. We make it ready to fight." Adam gave her a look. "Fight? With what? I don't have ships, guns, or soldiers. I have old panels, a faulty defense grid, and one alien visitor who can make reactors glow." Ren didn't flinch at his sarcasm. You also have your mind, and I have mine. Together, that is more than the Drask expect. Adam sighed and stood up. All right, where do we even start? Rin pointed to the holographic map of the outpost. This place was not built for war, but it was built for survival. You have airlocks, bulkheads, gravity control, systems that can be turned into weapons if used correctly. Adam stared at the map. He had been maintaining this place for months, but he had never thought of it like that. You're saying we use the station itself as a weapon? Rin nodded. Yes, they will come expecting weakness. Instead, we give them resistance. Adam felt a strange determination rise in him. He had been patching up this station for months, keeping it alive. Maybe now, for the first time, it could actually fight back. Fine, he said. Let's make a plan. They spent hours working. Adam dug through old storage compartments, pulling out emergency supplies he hadn't touched in months, old plasma cutters, outdated shield emitters, spare energy cells, anything that could be repurposed. Rin examined every system, her glowing hands interacting with panels in ways Adam couldn't fully understand. She showed him how to reroute power from the cargo bays to the station's outer shields, amplifying their strength beyond human limits. Shields won't stop them forever, Adam said as he worked. They do not need to, Rin replied. They only need to slow them long enough for our traps to work. Traps? Adam asked. She pointed to the airlock carters. These are narrow, perfect for isolating intruders. If we control gravity and pressure, we can turn them into barriers or weapons. Adam blinked. You're talking about venting them into space. Rin nodded. If needed, it is not cruel. It is survival. Adam didn't argue. He didn't like the idea, but he knew she was right. As the day went on, Adam felt something change in him. He had been working alone for so long, always fixing one problem just to move on to the next. Now, for the first time, his work had a clear purpose. At one point, while rerouting power lines, he glanced at Rin. She was kneeling by a console, her hands glowing faintly as she calibrated the shields. You've done this before, haven't you? He asked. Ryan didn't look up. Yes, the Drask do not only target humans. My people have faced them before. Did you win? Adam asked quietly. Ryan paused. Sometimes. That wasn't the answer Adam wanted, but it was honest. By night, the station felt transformed. The defense grid, which had barely worked before, now pulsed with new energy. The corridors had been rearranged with sealed bulkheads to control enemy movement. The gravity systems were modified to be used as a weapon. They could make certain areas too heavy to move through or completely weightless. Adam walked through the station, checking their work. It wasn't much, but it was more than he'd ever thought possible. In the control room, Rin stood by the observation window, staring at the gas giant below. You seem calm, Adam said, joining her. I'm focused, Rin replied. Calm is a choice. Adam leaned against the railing. I don't know how you do it. I've been out here for months, and I still feel like I'm losing my mind half the time. Now we're about to fight an alien force, and you're just steady. Rin turned her glowing eyes toward him. Fear is natural, but fear cannot control you. You control it. Adam let out a short laugh. Easier said than done. Not easy, Rin agreed, but necessary. For a moment, they stood in silence, staring at the endless clouds below. Suddenly, an alarm blared, a sharp, shrill tone that Adam hadn't heard before. He rushed to the console. What now? The sensor screen lit up. A small cluster of blips had appeared at the edge of the station's detection range. Adam's heart sank. Ships, and not cargo haulers, Rin stepped beside him. The Drask. Adam swallowed hard. How long until they're here? Rin studied the display. A few hours, perhaps less. Adam slammed his hand on the console. Hours. Great. That's just enough time to panic. Rin placed a hand on his shoulder. Or enough time to prepare fully. You have done much. Now we finish. Adam nodded, forcing himself to focus. All right, then let's finish. For the next few hours, they worked non-stop. Adam armed the improvised traps. Rin strengthened the shields and encrypted the stations systems so the Drask couldn't hack them easily. When they were done, Adam returned to the control deck. He stared at the sensor screen as the blips grew closer. His heart thudded in his chest. "They're almost here," he said quietly. Ren stepped beside him. "Then we stand ready." Adam gripped the console tightly. He had no idea if their preparations would be enough, but one thing was clear. He wasn't the same person who had been quietly patching up this station a week ago. Now, he was ready to fight for it, and as the Drast ships closed in, Adam knew that tonight would decide everything. The Drast ships arrived just as Ren had predicted. Adam stared at the monitor, watching the blips grow larger and multiply. They didn't look like ships on his display, just dots of light, but he could feel their weight, their danger. "They're here," he said. His voice tight. Rin stood beside him, calm as always. "Yes, but so are we." Adam swallowed hard and forced his hands to steady. "How many?" "3 ships," Ren said after studying the readings. "Not a full invasion, a scouting force. But they are still dangerous. Scouting force." Adam muttered. "That's supposed to make me feel better. They will underestimate you," Ren said. "Use that," Adam exhaled. "Right? Underestimate me. That's the plan." The station shook as the first impact came, a deep, metallic thud. Adam gripped the console. "What was that?" "They have latched onto your docking ring," Ren said. "They will breach soon." Adam ran through their plan one more time in his head. Sealed corridors, shielded compartments, gravity traps, and emergency airlocks ready to vent at his command. It was everything they could prepare in such little time. "All right," Adam said, trying to sound confident. "Time to see if this works." The lights flickered as the Drast breached the station. Adam pulled up the cameras for the first time. He saw them. They were tall, armored creatures with insect-like features, segmented skin, sharp limbs, and glowing red eyes. They moved with frightening speed, their clawed hands cutting through doors like they were paper. Adam felt his stomach twist. Those things, they don't look like scavengers. They look like killers. "They are both," Ren said. "But they bleed." Adam clenched his jaw. Good to know. The first group of Drast entered Quarter A. Exactly where Adam wanted them. "All right," Adam muttered, gripping the controls. "Welcome to my station." He pressed a button. The gravity in the corridor suddenly multiplied, slamming the invaders to the floor. Their bodies thudded against the metal with a sickening crunch. Adam winced, but didn't stop. He cranked it higher until they couldn't move. "Now," Ren said. Adam hit the second control. The airlock at the end of the corridor opened, and a violent rush of air sucked the helpless Drast out into the void. The emergency door slammed shut. Adam leaned back in his chair, panting. "That's 1 quarter down." Ren's expression remained neutral. "Do not celebrate yet. There are more." 2 more groups breached different entry points. Adam rerouted power to the inner bulkheads, sealing them off from critical systems. The Drast weren't stupid. They split up, cutting through walls instead of doors. Adam cursed under his breath. "They're learning, then adapt faster than they do." Ren said. Adam glanced at her. "Easy for you to say." But he followed her advice. He rerouted them toward the storage bays, places he had already emptied and filled with improvised traps when the Drast entered. He triggered an overload in the old plasma cells. The explosion tore through the room, sending debris and alien bodies flying. The station groaned under the impact, but it held. Adam gritted his teeth. "That bought us time." "Use it," Ren said. "There are still more." The largest group made it to the central corridor, dangerously close to the reactor room. Adam's heart pounded. If they reached the core, it was over. "They're too close," Adam said. "Then we go to them," Ren said. Adam stared. "Go to them, as in fight them, up close," Ren nodded. "They expect machines and traps." "They will not expect us." Adam hesitated. He wasn't a soldier. He had never fought anyone, let alone aliens with claws and armor. But if they reached the reactor, nothing else would matter. "Fine," he said, grabbing the metal rod he had used earlier. "But you're leading." The corridor smelled like burnt metal and ozone. The Drast moved in formation, their claws digging into the floor for grip. Ren stepped forward without fear. Her hands glowed with that strange blue light Adam had seen before. Stay behind me, she said. Adam did as he was told. The first Drask lunged. Ren raised her hand, and a blast of energy threw it back against the wall with a crack. Another rushed forward, but she moved like water, dodging its swipe, and slamming her glowing palm against its chest. It convulsed and collapsed. Adam tightened his grip on the rod. One of the smaller drafts broke off and charged at him. Panic surged through him. He swung wildly, the rod smashing into the creature's face. It screeched and stumbled back. Adam hit it again, harder this time, until it stopped moving. His breath came in gasps. I actually got one. Keep going, Rin said. They fought their way through the corridor. Rin was like nothing Adam had ever seen. Precise, controlled, devastating. Adam was clumsy, driven by fear and adrenaline, but he kept swinging, kept surviving. Finally, the last Drask fell. The corridor was littered with their bodies. Adam leaned against the wall, panting. Is that all of them? Rin closed her eyes for a moment. Yes, for now. Adam dropped the rod and slumped to the floor. For now? You mean they'll come back? Rin nodded. They will send more. But we live today, and that is victory. Back in the control room, Adam stared at the damage reports. The station was holding, but barely. Several sections were offline, and the shields were nearly drained, but they had survived. He turned to Rin. Why do you even care? Why risk yourself for this place? Rin looked at him, her expression softer than before. Because you risked yourself for it long before I arrived, and because my people believe in protecting those who fight for what they love. Adam didn't know what to say. For months, he had felt invisible, just a forgotten engineer keeping a forgotten station alive. But now, someone had seen him. He stood and faced her. Thank you for all of this, Rin nodded once. Thank me when the Drask are gone for good. Adam smirked faintly. Then I guess you're not leaving anytime soon. No, Rin said. Not until this place is safe. Adam looked around the battered control room. It wasn't much, but it was his home. And for the first time in a long time, he believed it could stay that way. Outside, the gas giant swirled endlessly, as if nothing had happened. But Adam knew better. Everything had changed.